Hi everyone, it's Vanna for KelownaNow.com, and today I'm joined by up-and-coming country star Ben Klick.
This is where I wave, right? Like this?
You got it. You've nailed it already.
Yes.
So Ben, first time I ever saw you, you opened up for Tanya Tucker last year. How was that for you? She's a legend.
March 23rd, I remember that day. I remember the week before, I completely forgot that I had to get my wisdom teeth pulled the week prior to the actual show. So I went in and I'm just gonna sound open book. So I went into this place, and after like the actual teeth pulling play, the dentist and all that, they drugged me up, they did the whole thing, put me out, and I woke up completely loopy. And was sore for about a week, and leading into the Tanya Tucker show, I was still a little bit numb. So I was nervous. Even being Tanya Tucker and who she is, I was nervous to actually go and play the show, because I was, well, what if I go even more numb? What happens? I'm nervous as it is, but then it just
Yeah.
So I pulled it off, to say the least. But it was awesome. Her crew that came with her were fantastic. She was unfortunately sick that night, but I ended up chatting to her very briefly while she was heading back to her bus. And she just said, "Fantastic job. Thank you very much for helping us out and opening up the show." And I said to her, "You are more than welcome. Safe travels down to the island, and take care. Get on the bus." And off she went. But it was super cool. Super cool.
You're a very approachable person to talk to, and I'm not sure if maybe this is because you work for the country 100.7 station here in town. Does that help you when it comes to interacting with fans and crowds?
You know, I love the local radio station. New Country 100.7 has been extremely supportive of what I do from an artist perspective, and I've been working with them for about 5 years.
Wow.
And it was my first ever part-time job, and they've kept me around for some reason. So like I said, I've been hanging out with the morning show with Casey and Rue over the past 3 weeks now, going into week 4, and 4 a.m. does come early, but it's a ton of fun. We laugh the entire time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sure it's definitely a good time for you and for them as well, having someone as bubbly and bright as yourself. So yeah, being in Kelowna though, our country scene, I mean, country's really popular here, and we've had stars like Chad Brownlee come out of Kelowna. But
100%.
What's it like being a country musician in Kelowna today?
Today, I mean, you've got the OK Corral, you've got New Country 100.7 here in town. I've heard rumors that Level Nightclub is actually going to be trying to do some more country stuff.
Nice.
So I know there's 3 of those venues that are kind of putting together some new things. I believe Breakout West is coming, and I've been in contact with the organizers wherever they're based, and they're trying to pull a country thing together. So I mean, the following in Kelowna is actually it's really cool, especially like with the Tanya Tucker show, and when Chad Brownlee comes to town, or when there's an act that either comes to Prospera or wherever, when they actually come into the Okanagan, it's like you get some rowdy people, but they pack the places. Like it's super cool, the following.
Yeah. So I guess, like you said, it is a really cool scene here.
Yeah.
It hasn't always been the most prominent though. So why did you decide to get into country music?
I was 4 years old, and I went to Shania Twain. I was born in Vancouver, lived in Vancouver, and it was at the Pacific Coliseum. I think it was like June something. And I was just this little dude, and I used to have this purple microphone on this stand and this Fisher-Price like plastic guitar that I would play on and like sing my guts out to "Man, I Feel Like a Woman." That was my thing. I used to shake and do the whole 9 yards. Like I used to be like Shania Twain, and went to her concert, and I'm driving home with Mom and Dad. And they looked at me and they said, "So, what'd you think?" It was my first concert ever. And I said, "I want to do that when I'm older. Like, I want to be like that." And nobody in the family has any musical talent, let's say. For me, like songwriting, playing instruments, singing, there's nothing. So it was weird how I kind of just wanted to play guitar and I wanted to sing. So I asked for a guitar for Christmas. I was 4. And they gave me a hockey stick. and I basically picked it up and I was like, nope, still can't skate to this day. Asked for a guitar at 5 years old, and next thing you know, didn't fit in the stocking, but I had this little half-size acoustic guitar. Went straight into lessons, and I've never put the thing down. So it was Shania Twain that got me started. I had like a folk background with some Great Big Sea stuff. Used to listen to classic rock stations back in Vancouver, and moved up to Kelowna, heard Brad Paisley and Keith Urban play on the radio station, and thought I gotta learn how to do that. And then all of a sudden, country just became a part of me, and I heard the lyrics and the storytelling, and now I'm here.
Now you're here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, Queen Shania Twain got you started.
That's right.
I love it. So you've been playing music for, since you were 4, but you've been releasing stuff for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And you just put out your new single, first one in 2018, Middle of Nowhere. It's a really happy song. It's fun to listen to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's the inspiration behind it? What were you thinking when you were writing it?
I really just wanted to get across the feeling of being with the person that you care about and that you love. So for me, when I went into the writer's room, I said to my 2 other writers, they both live in Vancouver. Or sorry, one lives in Vancouver, one's permanently down in Nashville now, originally from Vancouver. And I went into the room and I said, hey, so can we create the feeling of a heart beating and the excitement of being with a person that you really, really care about, but getting lost and not having a care in the world? And they said, sure, yeah, like you're just like, where would you be going? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm like the middle of nowhere. And ha, that's it.
Yeah, had that moment.
So that was the click, no pun intended. that inspired the song, and then I went down to Nashville, and I recorded it down there, and I said to my producers, after I played them the song, they said, yeah, we got to cut this record. What are you thinking? And I said to them, well, I want this Eric Churchy feel, but to have like a Keith Urban thing. But I want it guitar driven because that's who I am personally. And I want it to tell a story. And they said, well, okay. So next thing you know, a couple months later, the tracks were sent up to me. I did a few things and sent them down to Nashville, flew down there, recorded the vocals, flew back up, and it's the first single that's come out this year.
Yeah, and you're also using it for the CBC Spotlight competition.
Yeah, I love that competition. It is so cool. It is so cool.
Yeah, what made you want to be involved with it? Because it's a popular thing here.
That's the thing, and it's not because of the popularity. For me, it's more of the it's more to put my name out with all of the other artists that are out there. I mean, it is super popular, not just in the Okanagan, but like across Canada. Everybody comes in and chimes in and votes, and for me, it's a way to connect with those other artists that may not just strictly be in country. I mean, I've written with a bunch of pop writers, I've written with some rock writers and things like that, and I find the more diversity and like it just all becomes a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And everybody that I've had the privilege of working with and meeting over the years, they just want to help everybody. And country specifically, it's like a big family, and everybody's happy. Everybody, that doesn't matter if you're a Chad Brownlee who's got his record deal and things, and he's up in the ranks in Canada, or someone like myself who's emerging and coming up through the ranks. Everybody is more than open to helping you guide through where you're going and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. So the single's the first thing that you put out this year.
Yeah.
Your last EP came out 2015. Is this single possibly a hint at a new EP, LP in the works? Can you tell us? June.
Yep, June.
June's the time.
So there's 2 songs that I've put out to radio before Middle of Nowhere went out. And those will be the first 2 on this new record due out in June. The first one was What's Going On, and that one actually, it made it on to New Country 100.7 here in town.
Nice.
Which was super cool. The next one was That's Who I Want to Be. And I went out and I wrote that one about my parents' relationship and went out on a radio tour through Saskatchewan and Alberta with that guy. And now we're on Middle of Nowhere, and come March, I'll be back on the road on a BC radio tour, right before I pop over to Campbell River to open up for Brett Kissel, which will be really cool.
Nice. That's a big deal.
It'll be cool. When I got that call, I mean, the phone call came from, I think it was Saskatchewan or something. And I thought, I have nobody in Saskatchewan who I know. So I went to the gym. I'm like, I don't know, ignore. And I came back to this message on my phone. Hey Ben, this is so-and-so from Invictus Entertainment. Do you have March 18th open for a Campbell River show to open for Brett? And I said, yeah, I do. So I called him back. I'm like, yes, this is awesome. So I called him back, kept my cool. I'm like, mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I'm 100% in.
Awesome.
So it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's really cool. So new album in the works, going to open up for some pretty major names. When are you going to be playing in Kelowna next? When can people come see you?
I've been working with Level Nightclub for something in April. We've been working on that one. I've also been working with the folks from Parks Alive to see if we can get something going in the park for the summer.
Nice.
And potentially the OK Corral. There's no dates as of yet, but everything currently for the summer tour is in the works.
Great. Well, you guys, you can stay tuned. We'll probably keep people updated on Ben Klick here. New album out in June. Shows coming this spring. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Van. Absolutely.
Awesome.